these Islamists, what they do is that they either marry these young girls or they trade them off to other Arab countries. We hear that Libya is a transit point. In my own state, there is a case last week of some girls who were trafficked to those places. And so many of them will be sold, or many of them will be married to these militants themselves.
President Trump says the persecution and killing of Christians in Nigeria is, quote, genocide. Others say it's not quite that simple, but there is no doubt Nigeria has a major problem with mass killings and kidnappings of both Christians and Muslims going back more than 10 years. This week, 2 more mass abductions at schools in the country's north and west. Hundreds of children taken from a Catholic school yesterday. One bishop urging action there.
Without quick intervention, Christianity risks elimination in parts of northern and middle belt Nigeria within a very short time. The church alone cannot stop the killings. It requires coordinated political, military, and humanitarian intervention. Mr. Chairman and members, the blood of Nigerian Christians cries out to you people. We cannot afford to wait any longer.
Let's bring in Reverend Father Remigius Ihyula of the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi in Nigeria. He's also the director of the Foundation for Justice, Development, and Peace. Peace, it seems, is in short supply in your country.
Thank you, John, for having me. And I want to thank you very much for this platform. Actually, there is no peace. Even though I had the Foundation for Justice, Development, and Peace. We have been noticing for many years, we've been witnessing for many years killings and abductions like you just described. I come from Benue State, which is part of the middle belt of Nigeria, where we have documented these killings since 2001. So it's not just 10 years like people want to refer to. Maybe the peaking of the killings and abductions can be reduced to 10 years, but we have systematic documentation of these killings taking place as far back as 2001, when the Catholic Church in the diocese first opened an internally displaced people's camp. So we have experienced these killings and displacement for many, many years. It's not just 10 years.
Those 350 schoolgirls that were kidnapped, what happens to them? I mean, what are the chances of getting them freed, do you think?
Very little, sorry to say. And I say very little because this is not the first. If you have followed the history of Nigeria in the recent past, schoolgirls were kidnapped in 2014. In 2015, others were kidnapped. There is a famous girl who was kidnapped in Dapchi alongside other girls that is called Leah Sharibu. She's not been returned to her parents, to her family up to now. The many others who have been kidnapped like that have not been returned. So I'm sorry to say, but I think that the chances will be very slim. Because these Islamists, what they do is that they either marry these young girls or they trade them off to other Arab countries. We hear that Libya is a transit point. In my own state, there is a case last week of some girls who were trafficked to those places. And so many of them will be sold, or many of them will be married to these militants themselves.
We have a map that shows the situation in your country. The north, largely Islamic. The middle part of the country, sort of a bit of a mixed bag. And the south is predominantly Christian. But we note the locations of the Boko Haram hotbeds. Boko Haram is perhaps the worst offender, is it not, when it comes to violence against Christians?
When Boko Haram started, it was the worst offender to violence against Christians. It started in the northeast of our country, in a place called Borno State. When they started in the 2000s, they used to be the most deadly Islamic group. As I speak to you today, the deadliest Islamic group will be the Fulani ethnic militia that is operating in the middle belt of the country, where you highlighted, and you have the picture very well. So the Fulani militants come in their numbers. They are armed with AK-47s. They come on motorcycles. They surround villages, displace a lot of people, kill as many as they can. I'm sure you are aware of what took place this year in my own state. It's just some kilometers away from the capital state of Makurdi, in this city called YELAWATA, where they came shouting Allahu Akbar, and they killed over 270 people. I have the names of every individual who was killed on that day. So this is not just happening in Benue State. Also, Plateau State has been very much hit by this Fulani ethnic militia. So it is true that Boko Haram is deadly, but in the last 10 years or 12 to 10 years, the Fulani militants have overtaken Boko Haram in the brutality of killings that they are doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, so much for the so-called religion of peace. Reverend
Exactly.
Father Remigius Ihyula, we wish you well, and we urge strength and prayers as you continue.
Thank you, John. I thank you for giving us this platform, because many times our stories have been stifled and no one wants to take our news.
Yeah.
So I thank you for giving us this platform. And please thank President Trump, who has brought this to the attention of the world. I think by his intervention, Nigeria is discussing this issue, and the world is getting to discuss this issue. Thank you very much for
the
this.
The President of the United States is on your side, and that certainly helps. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. These more secrets about the terrorists in Nigeria coming from Rev Remigius Ihyula. He says that most kidnapped kids end up in Libya or forced marriages to terrorists. He didn't even stop there. He says that he has names of over 270 YELAWATA victims. And as a matter of fact, this man said that these killings in fact, he dated the killings in YELAWATA and Benue State as far back as 2001. But Nigerian government are reducing it to 10 years ago. But these particular killings of Christians has been for decades, as far back as 2001. People that was given birth to in 2001, majority of them now have 2-3 kids. Some of them have even stopped giving birth, as a matter of fact, because they have completed either giving birth to either 4 children or 5 or 3 thereabout. So you see what is going on. And now recently, looking at what happened in Kebbi State a few days ago, it is also on the news that by 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, the Nigerian military withdrew their troops. And by 3:45 a.m., the abduction took place in that particular school. Now, the question that Nigerians are now asking is, who ordered the withdrawal of the military before the abduction of the 25 schoolgirls? Kebbi State Governor Nasru Idris is now questioning these people, because it's like banditry is a business in Nigeria, and we really need help from Donald Trump indeed. I want you guys to watch this small video from Kebbi State Governor known as Nasru Idris, where he is questioning and he's lambasting who ordered the withdrawal of the troops from that particular school, because they received news that there might be an attack within that particular vicinity, and as a matter of fact, they mounted heavy military within that particular place. Then what happens? Who withdraw the troops? How did this abduction happen? It is something that we need to ask Nigerian generals and Nigerian government. Watch this video and drop your thoughts in the comment section.
By 3 o'clock, the military withdrew. And by 3:45, the abduction took place. And we have been asking questions. Who authorized the withdrawal of the military? As government, when we had an intel, we decided to call a security meeting. And we did so. We seek the security advice. And they said that all is well. What they should do is they are going to mobilize to the school. And they did so. By 3 o'clock, the military withdrew. And by 3:45, the abduction took place. That is why we are worried, and we have been asking questions. Who authorized the withdrawal of the military? because we know when orders were being given, particularly on the military, until when an order is being given, and why, how does the security withdraw from that school at that material time? That is our worry. And we also ask the military authority to also investigate and find out who did that order.
Attack of YELAWATA of June 13. Do you know, maybe I'm saying it for the first time, do you know that about 3 of the attackers were killed when they were retreating that very morning? Do you know that one of the attackers is a military officer with his ID card in his pocket? So these people are well known. They are well known. They are mixing. So there is state collusion. There is complicity. There's complicity in this. And so it is an outright act of jihad against our people for the sake of expansion.
You hear what this man said? He said that this is an outrage, a planned, attack just for the purpose of expansion. These jihadists want to expand in numbers. They want their jihadists of a thing to expand in so many places. And it is wrong. And if you check what this man said, he said that one of Nigerian military, a non-Nigerian military was among the attackers in YELAWATA. That is to tell you that the enemies we are complaining about are in Nigerian military. And at the end of the day, they are still looking for more Nigerian youth to recruit so that the corrupt ones will kill them. Ichoko.
You can ask 3 service chiefs that served in Kaduna under my watch. One of them is still alive. Farouk Yahya was chief of army staff. He was GOC in Kaduna. I saw him yesterday at a wedding. You can call him, bring him to this program and ask him what we did. What I will not do, okay, is to pay bandits, give them monthly allowance, or send food to them in the name of non-kinetic. It's nonsense. We are empowering bandits. It's not the government of Kaduna State. It's a national policy driven by the Office of the National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Chase the bandits. That's the new policy. My position has always been the only repentant bandit is a dead one. Let's kill them all. Let's wipe them. Let's bomb them until they are reduced to nothing. And then the 5% that still want to be rehabilitated can be rehabilitated. You do not negotiate from a position of weakness. You don't empower your enemy. You don't give him money to go and buy more sophisticated weapons. That's why the insecurity problem has not gone away and will not go away as long as this policy continues. They can deceive, they can cover up, they can do propaganda, but those that live in Katsina, those that live in Zamfara, those that live in Kaduna, those that live in those states, they know what is happening.
Well, is that the reason why perhaps you think that there's a slowdown in the attack on schools and kidnaps that we've seen in Kaduna? The quiet we've seen in the Dinegwari
there is no slowdown. I was governor for 8 years. I was governor of Kaduna State for 8 years. Only 3 schools were attacked in 8 years. Okay? This government has been around for 2 years. 3 schools have been attacked. And they paid the bandits. They paid them ₦1 billion the first time the school was attacked and students abducted. They are paying bandits. They are apologizing to them. They are
finding information about ₦1 billion being paid.
Look, let the governor or anyone come and deny. We have the evidence. When the time comes, we'll reveal everything. They are paying bandits. They are empowering bandits. This is what this government is doing.
And you think that will not work?
It will not work. It has never worked anywhere in the world.
Please, it's not genocide. Please, it's not this. But to me, I'm not safe. Come and help. provide you something you've been looking for. It is not going to start debating what is it. Oh yes, me and my wife are living, we are hungry. Somebody discovered, oh, Peter Obi and his family can no longer eat. You are saying no, it's not true. And we ate in the morning, but the one of afternoon, collect the food first, and then you know how you can ration it. That's what it is. That's my reaction. What I would do, I would have gone. Even today you declare me president, I can tell you, number one priority is security of life and property. Number two priority is to put people out of poverty. Because the more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. Number three is to invest in education. It is critical for a basic education. There are millions of people out of school today. A child that is 5 years, 10 years today did not educate will become a terrorist and a problem for you 20 years time. So invest in him now. Now you have the opportunity. Invest in health. All these people are moving around stealing public money. They don't need it. You only bring the headache to your life. So that's my reaction to Trump. For me, it's a welcome speech that I would have been begging him.
Fellow Nigerians, let us observe 1 minute silence for the late National Assembly, the late Senate and House of Reps, which we lost as a parliament years ago. 1 minute silence. May the soul of the late National Assembly continue to rest in peace until Nigerians revive it. Because in the history of parliaments in Nigeria, the 10th National Assembly will go down as the most useless, unproductive, and redundant assembly in the history of parliament. I beg, in the midst of all of this catastrophe and robodion where they go on for Nigeria, where is Senate President Akpabio? Where is Mr. Godswill Obodo Akpabio? Where is Speaker Tajuddin Abbas and the entire National Assembly? I dey watch video of US Congress holding hearing on the insecurity in Nigeria. That is another foreign nation sit down for more than 3 hours grilling their officials on insecurity in another country. Meanwhile, the politicians and parliament in that country, their job na to wear babarigagbada, they walk around the country like internally displaced politicians. And you wonder why a president or a foreign leader will call the nation a disgraced nation. What exactly is the job and the use of parliament in Nigeria? It is to approve loans for the executive. It is a money point National Assembly. Loans upon loans without verification and without impact on the life of people. The only place they will never approve money for presidency to borrow, na fair money and money points. Borrow from Kuda, clear Pampe. Borrow from Ope, clear money points. Ori buruku lenshe. Ori buruku lenshe. When una say unasef tomorrow, you begin to call yourself distinguished, extinguished, and then honorable, dishonorable. What is distinguished about a group of people who cannot speak up in defense of their own constituents at a time of national tragedy when people are being slaughtered every day? Every place where killings they happen, so they have lawmakers. Yet everybody is trying to be careful because everybody is struggling to be sycophants in chief. Nobody wants to offend the powers that be. Even parliamentary leaders are trying to be careful because it is the who is who in the hypocrisy World Cup. Your own is to put prayer points in account number of parliamentarians. It is to convert National Assembly to APC town hall. You cannot call an extraordinary session on insecurity, but if president come to submit budget, you can afford to convert everybody to sing on their mandate, they shall collapse. You people should be ashamed of yourself. Nigeria is spending taxpayer money to run the life of politicians who have decided to be a waste of taxpayer money. National Assembly budget is more than 350 billion. What is the return in investment of that kind of money on the lives of these so-called parliamentarians? So with all that is going on, in Norwich, let Senate President recall parliamentarians and say, let us have a bipartisan or bi-parliamentary committee to review what exactly is going on. What can be done? Is it a time to push for state policing bills? What can be done to strengthen insecurity? With all the stories, Kebbi State Governor said they gave intelligence to military. Few minutes before the attack, people removed security. People came in and kidnapped children. It is not enough for you people to sit up. They said that Bandits, they give instruction, say police should not wear police uniform to so-called peace deal meetings, be terrorist stakeholder summit. Meanwhile, the bandits are wearing uniforms of slain officers that they killed. And it is not enough for you people to sit down and review what exactly the hell is going on with this so-called peace deal. It is a shame of a nation. It is a tragedy that parliament that should be the beacon of democracy can decide to be silent at a time when the country needs you most. Everything when they think must be connected to your political future, how you want to return. You do not see the country as citizens who deserve good governance, but as customers and as electoral votes who are only needed during elections, because you don't prepare your unfortunate rice when go carry come. For Nigeria, everything the solution arise. They kill people, give them rice. They kidnap, give them rice, and that rice go later choke on her. 10th National Assembly, what exactly is your use and value in the lives of Nigerians? How can you decide to be so mundane and expired? Decide to add no value to the lives of citizens even at the peak of crisis? It is a shame. Oh, it is disappointing. Nigerians, tag and know all your lawmakers, because you need to mark every politician who decides to be quiet in the face of tragedy. Make you know, say you should not reward people like that with greater power on another electoral season. People who cannot stand for the people or for public good do not have any business with public office, because the real enemy is not just the person who attack you, is the one who had powers to protect you but decided to be silent or decided to turn the other way because of personal greed and hypocrisy. It is a shame and a tragedy of a nation. Tag all your lawmakers and ask them, what are you doing at this time? Why are you quiet? What are you afraid of? Is the National Assembly a secret cult, or is it a witchcraft coven? If now activists will talk, DSS go nowhere to go pick them. Terrorists are carrying children. Parliament that is supposed to be the hope of democracy is busy moving around, singing and dancing on their mandate they shall collapse for defection party. Look at the country where terrorists are sharing sovereignty with commander-in-chief, and we have a parliament. We are supposed to be a sovereign nation. Oriburuku sovereignty. Oriburuku sovereignty, like say, may God give Nigerians the grace to rescue themselves. My name is Peter for Nigeria. Tag your lawmakers and ask them, what the hell is going on in Nigeria?